All right, man, peace. So, brothers, as many of you know who've been on my channel for over 2 years now, I've been saying that LeBron James can only play in one type of system, that being the LeBron James system. And since then, I've noticed that there have been many NBA pundits who've started to use that phrase, whether on ESPN or Fox Sports 1, or who have started to notice the same things that I've been noticing for years now. And I'm not saying that they've heard me say it. I'm just saying that the truth becomes apparent to all. It's just that some people notice it earlier than others. Well, now Michael Wilbon is alleging that Doc Rivers is stating that the reason why he will never coach the Lakers while LeBron James is there is because LeBron James does not want to be coached. And I've stated that it's very obvious that LeBron James does not want to be coached, because if he did, he would have stayed in Miami. Or at the very least, when he was a free agent this past offseason, he would have signed with San Antonio. As I've always said, some people claim to want to be in a relationship with a good person. But when that opening is there, they never take the bait. They don't really want to be with who's best for them. They want to go back to being with the defective person so that they have someone to blame when things go wrong. That is LeBron James 101. And Greg Popovich was trying to throw as many wokey-woke baits at LeBron James as possible, calling him the Black Panther and all this other shit. And LeBron still went to a team with a relatively novice head coach and a group of young players that he knew that he was going to have to build up. But the main reason why he went there is because this previous offseason, maybe even since last season, they had been working on Anthony Davis to demand a trade from the Pelicans, and they thought that they were going to be able to bully Anthony Davis out of New Orleans to LA, and LeBron could just run the LeBron James system with Chris Bosh 2.0. Well, the whole thing is blown up in his face. So they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
Are the Lakers covetous as they look down the corridor of Glenn Rivers? Sure. But I think there's some things in the way here, and I'm going to mention two of them. One, there are people in Southern California right in that environment telling Doc, he don't want to do this. And one of those reasons is simply LeBron James. I mean, he's been told...
Ding! It's finally starting to come out. The truth is finally starting to come out about that dude, man. Keep in mind, this is the same LeBron James who circa 5 years ago, supposedly every superstar in the NBA wanted to play with him and every coach wanted to coach him. Allegedly. That's what the mainstream liberal sports media was trying to propagate about LeBron.
Told by people, and I know this, LeBron doesn't want to be coached. He's never wanted to be coached.
Thank you, sir.
He's coached by somebody with that kind of personality, command, authority, acumen, intellect. He's rejected it. Yes. And so Doc is being reminded of that by people.
It's PTI's Michael Wilbon saying Doc Rivers has been told LeBron does not want to be coached. Stephen A., you buying this? And if so, how big a problem is this for LeBron?
You have to buy it, because LeBron's track record has shown over the past 10 years or so that everywhere he goes, the first ritual that he likes to proceed with is to have that coach fired. He wanted to have Luke Walton fired earlier this year. It didn't work. Luke will be fired in the offseason.
Here's what I'm buying. I'm buying one thing. I'm not buying another. I want to make sure everybody hears what I'm about to say. Michael Wilbon is not to be questioned. Michael Wilbon is one of, I know you see him on PTI every day, and I know you know his
Negro, get to the damn point. Nobody give a damn about no damn Mike Wilbon. Just get to the damn point.
His record as an outstanding columnist for many, many years, and a mentor to a lot of us for the Washington Post. Michael Wilbon is as connected in the NBA as anyone you'll find. So,
including you.
So when he says he has been told this, and that Doc Rivers has been told this, don't question it. You can book it. Because let me tell you something. He knows the people that talk to Doc Rivers, because he's one of the people that talk to Doc Rivers. Now,
a lot of these top shelf reporters, they'll claim that they heard something from someone close to such and such when they really heard it from that person. They just don't want to dime out that person. Mike Wilbon knows he can't go on TV and say Doc Rivers told me that LeBron don't want to be coached. He knows that he can't say that, because that'll make Doc Rivers look bad down the line if other free agents want to go there. The other free agents will be like, are you going to dime me out to your boy Mike Wilbon like you did LeBron James? So Mike Wilbon understands that, but everybody knows this. LeBron can't be coached unless you have a framework of executives who are very high profile. You can't do nothing with LeBron James. Right now, LeBron James, he's so high profile and he's also so high maintenance that basically you have to wait for him to just phase himself out of the NBA. Let him get his all-time points scored record and then just move him out.
Having said all of that, even though what Mike Wilbon said is true, remember what he said. He said he knows this, meaning he knows that Doc Rivers has been told that. That does not mean that it's fair to LeBron.
Come on, man. Fair is a place where they judge pigs. Isn't that what you always say, brother? Now all of a sudden we're supposed to worry about what's quote-unquote fair to LeBron James? Was it fair to all the coaches that LeBron James has had that they've all been ritualistically fired by him? Was that fair? Was it fair that he damn near had Tyronn Lue suffer a stroke and a heart attack at the same damn time?
The disrespect has gotten ridiculous now. To sit up here and to say that LeBron James doesn't want to be coached.
Hey, Steve, you know when a lot of the disrespect really started? Was when your boy LeBron James claimed that he's the greatest player ever. That's when it really started. That's when old-time ball players, coaches, NBA aficionados, even many of the mainstream members of the media who were formerly stalwarts of LeBron James, protecting him and trying to extol his credibility, his abilities, his value as a player. Even they turned against him to a degree when he came out and said that. Because he's very reminiscent of the character of Narcissus. He's so enamored by his own reflection that he's going to cause his self-infatuation to be his downfall.
He is brilliant basketball-wise. He is a basketball savant, okay? And as a result, there's an elevated level of basketball intellect that you would need to bring to the table to talk to LeBron intelligently about the sport of basketball. Because he is just above most people when it comes to his understanding of the game.
Well, then, Stephen A., I have news for you. That means that if LeBron James is as concerned about making sure that the coach that he plays for is on the level to speak to him, then should not signing with a team that has a high-profile coach of high credibility have been a prerequisite for him and a concern for him during the free agency season?
You got to remember what a coach is supposed to be. A coach is somebody that's not just there to tell you what to do. They want you to do things their way, and in most instances, they're supposed to be teaching you. Does LeBron know more than most coaches? You're damn right he does. You're damn right he does.
Okay, so then become the player coach a la Bill Russell. The reason why he won't do that is because he does not want the lion's share of the blame when the team starts losing.
But
I knew that LeBron had no respect for his coaches when that fool sat out a game while he was in Cleveland and he was dressed in street clothes. And this jackass was standing behind Tyronn Lue trying to act like he was coaching while Tyronn Lue was coaching. I mean, it was so disrespectful. And all it did was emanate the energy of someone who was desperate for attention. That dude is the most attention-starved superstar I've ever seen. With all the attention he gets, he's always clamoring for more.
But when you say that he doesn't receive instructions, you're not telling the whole story. Because LeBron is very, very receptive to instructions that are worth being received.
That means that he should go play for a team with a coach whose instructions he's going to respect. Why did he sign in LA, Stephen A. Smith?
If it's not worth being received, what's the problem? It's not like he's disrespecting you or whatever the case may be. The way folks are talking about LeBron right now
is the same way that folks would talk about a woman who's always complaining about how she can't find a good man, and when good men approach her, she claims that they're boring. That's how people are talking about LeBron James. Supposedly, he's looking for a team that has a well-run franchise with an intelligent head coach, but then he goes and he signs with the LA Lakers. So, how much pity should LeBron James receive?
It's like LeBron went to Hollywood. I don't care about winning. He giving everybody the middle finger. Bump y'all. I don't give a damn about y'all.
That sounds about right.
Y'all don't matter. That's wrong.
No, it's not wrong. That's 100% right. The nigga came out on the court with a glass of wine. I mean, come on, man.
Greg Popovich would never talk about LeBron that way. Pat Riley would never talk about LeBron that way.
Yes, they would. Just off camera.
The great coaches in NBA history would all want to coach LeBron James.
Well, we already know Popovich did want to coach LeBron James. LeBron James did not want to play for him. Once again, that's my question, Stephen A. Smith. Why does LeBron James not want to play for a top-level head coach?
And to talk about him like this, listen, you've heard me be critical, Max, and I'm coming to you right now. You heard me be critical about him, Will. You know that. But I would never do this. This is just, it's gotten to the point where it's open season on LeBron James.
And justifiably so. Justifiably so. It's been a long time coming.
Because for the first time in 13 years, this brother ain't making the playoffs.
Well, all we've heard over the last 13 years is how many consecutive finals appearances he's made. I mean, we really thought that at least he may get to the second round of the playoffs this year. The man's not even going to make the playoffs.
And the way people are pouring it on, it's gotten beyond ridiculous.
No, it hasn't. As a matter of fact, it hasn't gotten bad enough.
So unfair what's happening to him right now.
This dude goes to the Lakers, does not improve them one iota. He's dead set on trying to get the coach fired. Soon, he's going to try to get Magic Johnson fired. Watch out for that. Soon, he's going to try to get Magic Johnson fired. He and his team are going to turn against Magic Johnson. You watch. And beyond that, supposedly, he's so concerned about playing for an intelligent head coach when he had the chance to sign with teams that wanted him and also had an intelligent head coach. So he's full of it.
You mentioned two names I want to bring up, and I'm going to get back to them, Pat Riley and Greg Popovich. First, let me say, LeBron, everything you said is right, Stephen A. He knows more than most of the coaches. He knows what he needs. He knows how to play. In most organizations, he becomes the de facto, at least, advisor to the GM and coach. At least. You got to run moves by him. You got to run the way you want to play by him, or you're not going to last. Most organizations. Now, I recall Kobe Bryant at a certain point in his career. Still a great player, but no longer the Kobe Bryant. It's tough to get players to play with him. Tough for the Lakers to get him. Not just because they felt Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak were, at least Jim Buss, was incompetent, which is what a lot was said, around the league. Not just because of that, but also because while Kobe was still great, putting up with his stuff, because we all have stuff, and the more power we have, the more we're able to kind of throw it out there. And Kobe had a lot of power because he was so great for so long, and he became kind of an institution in L.A.
Yeah, and he should have been institutionalized because that dude was a sadist.
And to put up with Kobe's stuff at that point, people didn't want to do it. It wasn't worth it anymore. He wasn't great enough as a...
Look, as I always say about Kobe, there are certain components of his personality that I'm very much simpatico with. What I'm not simpatico with is the very blatant sadism. Like, he gets off on seeing other people harmed or hurt. He gets off on embracing that dark component because he is a Luciferian. And there's very little doubt in my mind that Kobe is someone who makes the workplace completely untenable unless you have a presiding force that he's forced to respect, like a Phil Jackson.
As a player anymore to deal with it, and that made it harder to attract stars to take the Lakers' money. And LeBron, I think what we're hearing now is getting toward that phase in his career. LeBron has stuff too, as good a dude as he is, and the way...
Allegedly.
Way he plays the right way and all that stuff, we all have it. And he has gotten powerful enough that it's pervasive in any organization, almost any organization, that he's in. And so the message that's being received now is, you sure you want to deal with all LeBron stuff? Is he still worth it? And I think many are...
The answer is no, because he's on the way down.
He has started to say no, and even if he is, not for much longer, I don't want it. Now, you brought up...
That's why it was so important that they reel in that sucker Anthony Davis.
Brought up Popovich and Pat Riley. You know why I think that's significant? Doc Rivers is a great coach. Danny Ainge is a great GM, but that doesn't mean that LeBron James would work with Doc Rivers or Danny Ainge.
He wouldn't. And Doc Rivers is an overrated coach. He's a very good coach, but I mean, let's be for real. He won one world championship, and he's blown 2 3-1 leads. He blew a 3-1 lead as the head coach of Orlando. He blew a 3-1 lead as the head coach of the Clippers. He also blew a 3-2 lead as the head coach of the Boston Celtics in the finals. So history has shown that Doc Rivers has a hard time closing out the big one.
The difference with Pat Riley and Greg Popovich is they've been executives and coaches. They are part of the institutions in which they work. And LeBron, when he went to Miami... What's that? No, not quite. Not the same way. Not quite the same way.
No, I'm saying Doc Rivers was an executive for the
But he was a failed one. He was a failed executive.
Agreed.
executive. They needed to take that away from him in order for the Clippers to get good. That's the truth. He's a great coach, a failed executive. And Danny Ainge's never been a head coach. So Pat Riley, I think
Danny Ainge was a head coach. Didn't he coach the Phoenix Suns back in the 90s?
I think LeBron, we've seen him work in Miami. I think he'd work with the Spurs. I recommended he go to the Spurs because of Greg Popovich. But just because Doc Rivers is also a great coach does not mean that LeBron James would work with Doc Rivers.
But that's not the issue. The issue in question was what Wilbon was talking about in terms of LeBron not wanting to be coached.
And he doesn't.
And so what I'm saying is it's open season on him. It's almost like...
It's not open season. It's just that... It's like someone who has denied the truth for so long and now they're finally forced to deal with the truth because it's so blatant. It's going to seem like some type of tidal wave when it's really not. It's just overdue.
LeBron has been so great and he has achieved so much success that people have been lying in wait. Remember,
No, they haven't been lying in wait. They've been tired of the lying from you guys in the media. They've been tired of being told that LeBron James deserves credit for just making an appearance in the finals as opposed to winning in the finals. People are sick and tired of that shit. They're tired of him going everywhere and getting coaches fired.
My criticisms of LeBron James were coming while he was winning. I was saying he's winning, but this has happened, but this has happened, but that has happened. But now you've got people that smiled in his face, didn't say a damn word.
Well, I never smiled in a man's face. Stephen A. Smith, if you have issues with certain critics of LeBron James, then just be transparent about it and just say the names. We know that you're not talking about Skip Bayless because Skip Bayless been on LeBron's ass like a hemorrhoid for the last 15 years.
Nothing. And then the second he can't make the postseason for the first time in 14 years.
Stephen A. Smith, the man went from going to the finals 8 years in a row to not even making the playoffs. What did you think was going to happen?
Now you've got people coming out the wazoo with all of this stuff because they're saying stuff behind his back. They're smiling in his face. It's low, man.
Who you talking about, Stephen A. Smith? Sound like you know something.
It's
Stephen
low.
A, is he a coach killer, yes or no?
Yes, he is. He's a coach killer. He's also a team killer.
I never viewed him as a coach killer.
I have, and I don't think it's a bad thing.
Let's leave it here. I agree with you. I've been a LeBron critic. It's gone too far.
No, it hasn't. Hasn't gone far enough.
And I think Max is bringing an interesting point. We got to start figuring out which coach could work.
Once you start saying things like you're the greatest player of all time, that means that you're giving everyone the opportunity to scrutinize every aspect of your game. He never should have said that. I mean, it didn't bother me at all because I already knew that that's how he truly felt. And what that was going to do was provide some appropriate context for who he really is. Not the fake image that he tries to present on television. As I've told you brothers in the past, that's LeBron Armstrong. He's nothing but a basketball version of Lance Armstrong. That's all he is.
Could work with LeBron, though. Got to move on.
But anyway, that's basically it on that. So peace.